I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. It was the most horrible time of my life. I went to discharge myself to the midwife and that was the worst experience I've ever had. So I can't be here anymore, nothing's happening. Good afternoon everyone, welcome back to Random Tuesday. We haven't done one in a while because of him. Everyone meet Hayden. This is Hayden Ross McKenna. Hayden's named after my late granddad and it's spelled with a DN. He weighed £8.2 at birth and he was born on the 15th of October at 10:28 in the morning. It was probably, I've had two children, him and Rosie, my toddler. She's 2 now, and this one was by far my worst. So if you don't know, I had gestational diabetes in my pregnancy, which means I had to give birth earlier, about 2 weeks, 3 weeks earlier, because of the size of him. He, at a 36-week scan, he was weighing £7.13, I think, £7.8 or something. But when he was born, he weighed £8.2, and that was 3 weeks early. So I did think what he would have weighed if we actually carried on, didn't induce. But it probably would be easier than inducing me, actually. It was horrible. So, but he's really good. He doesn't cry much at all. He's gonna cry now just because I said that, but he doesn't cry. He's a very good baby. He's sleeping is quite good. He wakes up about every 4 hours. However, when it goes to 5, for me, he wakes up every hour after that. I just can't wait to get some sleep, like a full night's sleep. So hurry up and do that, please, little man. But yeah, he's really good. Rosie loves him so much. So I was really worried how she'd react with a new baby. But she's been really good, really good. So I went into hospital Friday the 13th of October, obviously. Didn't go in before that, obviously, in another month, because that would have been horrible. But yeah, we went in Friday the 13th. Obviously, I arrived there, I think it's at 10:30 in the morning. And I was expecting things to go pretty quick. Because obviously with your second, it's meant to go quicker. But obviously I was getting induced due to gestational diabetes. So I didn't know how things were really going to plan out. So I went in there. They gave me a tablet up there, obviously. I think it was Prostin, a tablet Prostin or something. Andrew will put the right word down here. 10:28 we went in, and I had the tablet around 11. So they had to monitor baby's movements before, half an hour, and they said, oh yeah, he looks really happy. And then they gave me the tablet. And then they monitor you for an hour after giving the tablet, so to monitor your contractions. And I was getting quite, I don't know, strong ones, half an hour after the tablet, so they gave me the tablet. I was getting quite strong and painful. It was quite painful. So I thought, oh yeah, this will be the start of things, we'll have him by tonight. La ya ya. So they monitored the baby for an hour, baby was happy, so they were happy with me to go walk around the hospital. So because we are YouTubers, we did have to upload the vlog, so we went to Costa Coffee, which is in the main hospital bit. And while in Costa Coffee, I was getting really strong pains. Like, I actually thought I was gonna go into labour there and then. I thought my water was gonna break. Yeah, we thought my water was gonna break, didn't we? So I thought my water was gonna break. So I was like, oh Andrew, we should go back and I should get monitored because I really feel like something's gonna happen. Oh, I went to the toilet first and I wiped and there was a bit of blood. So I thought, oh yeah, this will be good. I'm gonna go into labour tonight. That wasn't the case. So we went back and I said, look, can you monitor me? I'm getting really bad pains. And they were coming probably every 5 minutes. Like, really strong. So she monitored me and this was a disappointment bit. Apparently with your second, you are at least 2 centimetres dilated anyway. She checked me and I was 2 centimetres. And I was like, what? Why am I getting these pains for? So then she put me on the monitor. And it wasn't good. Like, it was awful. And the contractions, while I was just laying there doing nothing, they died down completely. So I didn't get any show up on the monitor at all. So at this point I was really stressed and disappointed. And then at 6 o'clock in the evening, they gave me another tablet. And they said, oh, this should definitely start things off. And like they did with the first one, like, oh, it'll be really quick, it'll be really quick. So yes, I got it. I got the tablet, the other tablet, the second tablet. And after that, I went for a walk around the hospital again and nothing happened again. So at this point, I was getting so fed up. Obviously, leaving my daughter was hard. I've never left her before. And that was really, really difficult. I didn't know how she'd be. And I just broke down. I said, I can't do this anymore. I want to go home and I want to discharge myself. My contractions of the second tablet didn't happen at all. Like, it just seemed like something stopped. Like something put something inside of me and then just didn't happen. I was getting really fed up. I was going downstairs, literally I was running up and down the stairs. We were walking around the hospital all day. There's not one time I just laid on that bed, not once. And I just thought, apart from obviously getting examined, I was just up moving constantly. So obviously I wasn't happy. I was getting really fed up and I just couldn't stop crying. And Friday night, Andrew really didn't feel well, so I think it's because of stress and everything like that, leaving our daughter, and just the hospital in general was so hot and it makes you feel awful as well. So he wasn't well, so then I had to call my auntie up and say, look, Andrew's not well, can you come here? My auntie came up. Andrew had to go in his car because he was like, ring me please, in case everything happens. And by this time, it's like 11 at night, I was getting pains. They weren't as strong as they were before with the first tablet, but they were there. So I just said, look, can you examine me again? So they examined me again and I was at a 3. So I wasn't happy. So in the end, I managed to get some sleep, even though it was horrible. And it was really stressful, obviously, because Andrew went with me. So he was really worried in case I did go into labour. But it was awful, actually, and I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. And it was the most horrible time of my life. So Saturday morning came, my auntie had to go, and by this point Andrew was feeling much better, thank goodness. So he actually came back to help me get through this horrible thing. So on Saturday morning, I think they gave me another tablet, a third tablet, and that didn't help at all. So again, Saturday was just wandering around the hospital, hoping something would happen, but it didn't happen. I was getting contractions, like slight contractions, but nothing amazing, like nothing to let me go. And then, yeah, so I was at 3 when I got examined next. So by Saturday evening, I think it was about 6 o'clock, I thought I had enough. I missed my daughter, I kept crying. It was horrible, just leaving her there. I didn't know if she was okay. It was awful. I hadn't seen her for like 2 days at that point, and I just kept looking at my phone, seeing this picture of her, and I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. So I kept crying, and Andrew was getting really stressed because he didn't feel well. I didn't feel well. We had no appetite. So I just said, look, I'm going to discharge myself. I said, I can't be here anymore. If nothing's happening, they're not doing anything about it. They were just completely ignoring me because nothing was happening. So I thought, well, what's the point? I might as well just go home and wait it out there. So I did. I went to discharge myself to the midwife. I said, look, I'm going home now. They said, hold on, we'll see what we can do. Because I kept crying, and because we were on a ward with other people getting induced, other women getting induced, they said, we're going to break your waters. You're at a 3, we can do that. We had to wait about an hour. We went to get some food, try and eat something, because we thought, that'll be the night. Saturday will be our night we give birth. So we went downstairs, had some food. When we came back, they were saying, oh yeah, we'll move you to the labour ward. So I thought, oh yeah, this is it. This is going to go really well. Well, we got to the labour ward. We were put in our own little room. But it was still awful. Like, it was pretty bad. We went to this room and I had 2 midwives. One was a trainee midwife and one was another midwife. So, a trained midwife. So, I got my waters broken in the end. However, they couldn't even find my cervix. My cervix was so high up they couldn't reach it. So I had to make these awful positions on the bed, I don't know, looking like a cow or something, up in the air with my feet up here and my head down there, so they could try and break it. And honestly, they took probably about half an hour trying to break my waters. So in the end, I had to like put my hips way up high, and that was quite difficult to do because it hurts, you know, it really hurts when you do that. So I wasn't happy. I was literally crying again in tears. I thought this is going to take forever, and because obviously your cervix is so high, it means baby's not ready to come. So they break my water. Then I said, can I go and walk around to get things happening? She said, yeah, that's the best thing you can do. Just run up the stairs again and they'll examine me in, I think it was 4 or 6 hours. So it was 4 hours later they examined me. And they examined me, and so I did it. And I was at a 4, I think it was. So I wasn't progressing at all. I was still at a 3, sorry, and then I wasn't progressing at all. So they said to me, we're going to have to try the drip on you. And I've heard about the drip, and I've heard it's the most horrible thing ever. They said, I looked it up on Google before I went in hospital, and they said you need to get the epidural straight away. And obviously I had no pain relief from my daughter, so I was like, oh, I won't need it, I've been through this before. They said no, the drip brings on really, really horrible contractions, like the most excruciating pain ever. So they really pushed me into it, and I thought, I'm going to have no choice here, so I'll just have to go with it. So I went with it. I went with the drip, and it was horrible. I had the epidural, and that was a needle in the back, and I wasn't so keen on that, but I had it. And they were telling me to keep pushing the thing every 15 minutes to get it working. Well, by the second one, I was numb everywhere, and that was the most horrible thing. I kept going hot, and I wish I'd never have it. I wish I'd never pressured me into it, because I didn't want it, and I don't want it, the epidural. So it's I didn't want it, so don't have it if you don't want it, that is. It didn't work for me. I mean, you couldn't even feel anything. It was horrible, and I couldn't walk afterwards either. So then I had it, and I had this drip, and they put it inside of me, and I didn't even know I was having contractions. I could feel my belly tightening, and then I felt a lot of pressure on my bum. And this was at like 8 o'clock in the morning now. They just kept coming. I had the drip at 3 put inside of me, and they were like, keep going, get through this, and I kept dozing off, you know, going to sleep. I was knackered by this point, obviously, because I've been awake for 48 hours. It was horrible. So I had to, by 9 o'clock, they said, you're ready to push, you're at 9. So Andrew went away to go to the toilet, because we thought, oh, he's going to be here soon. Came back, and I feel like I really need to do a poo. Sorry, too much information, but you know what it's like when you're giving birth. You do feel like you need to do a poo. So I was refusing to push, even though that pressure's there to push. You need to push. I thought, I'm going to do a poo everywhere. And the midwife actually turned around and said to me at this point, we could have had this baby 20 minutes ago. If you kept pushing, you don't need to poo, you need to push. It's the baby. I need poo. Honestly, it's baby. It's baby. You need to get that out of your head, because it's stopping you from pushing properly. You could have had this baby already, but it's the fact that you're worried about pooing is stopping you from pushing, okay? It is baby, honestly. It is baby that is coming. It is not a poo. So I was pushing. I started pushing more, and then they said to me, his heart rate's dripping. It's dropping. It's really going down. It went down to 50 at one point. They said, you really need to get him out. You really need to do this now. So thinking of him, I pushed and pushed and pushed. And they said, we can see the head. You're doing really well. And they said, when the head comes, you need to pant, because if you push, you can rip or tear. So by this time, like, I kept pushing. They said, no, you don't need to pant at all. You said you need to get him out now. His heart rate is getting really, really low. She said, a few more pushes and he'll be here. So I kept pushing, and she was like, oh, we need the resuscitation unit in. I was like, what? So without thinking. I literally did one big push and he was here. The battery died, sorry. Basically what happened was he was born, he was fine at 10:28, so I'm really pleased about that. They didn't have to use the resuscitation unit in the end, which I'm happy about, because it was quite stressful. I thought, is he going to be okay? Will he have to be taken away from me? What if he died, sort of thing. I was so stressed and worried. But he was fine once he's born. He latched on straight away. I'm obviously breastfeeding. It was the most amazing thing, but it was the worst birth I've ever experienced. The active labour apparently was 12 hours, and obviously I was having contractions as well on Friday night. So he was born on Sunday, so it was horrible. It's put me off getting pregnant again, basically, because that was the worst experience I've ever had. So let me just introduce you to Hayden. Here he is. I can say hi. Yeah, look. Say hi. Oh, it's my baby. He is so cute, and he's awake right now because he's feeding. Mwah. So yes, he's very good. Obviously, yes, induction was horrible, so please avoid it if you can, because it's not very good. For me anyway. It might be different for some people. I know people said it'd been easier for them, but it definitely wasn't for us, was it? No, because you were stubborn. I also feel like it was put in like false. It's not a natural start, is it, to labour at all, so I was really worried about how that would go. But yes, done with. So thank you everyone for watching this video. Please don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you can, if you like the video. We do upload daily vlogs, and obviously this is a random Tuesday. Yes, thank you guys, and we will see you soon. You can say bye bye. Say bye. He's a big baby as well, look. Say bye. Oh, still hungry, I think. Aren't you? Yeah. Okay, bye.